You're listening to an audiobook from Empower. This is the book Dare to Start by author Manh Cuong. In the printed version, there are various calculation templates that are not included in this audiobook. Please support the author by purchasing the printed book through the link below in the description. Thank you. Act. Check. Brother Cuong, can I invite you to lunch today and ask you to advise me and my wife on opening a shop? Just after about 20 minutes of chatting in the restaurant, I had to witness the couple's argument right in front of me. The wife had just shared a business idea, but her husband immediately dismissed it, saying, "I have no business experience. What if we open a shop and it fails?" His wife, inspired by her life-changing business idea, had her enthusiasm dampened by her husband's fear. She couldn't hold back her frustration and said to me, "You see, if I am on fire with any enthusiasm, my husband will be like a firefighter." My friend, criticized by his wife in front of a guest, felt embarrassed and defensive. For me, it brought back memories of childhood, quietly listening to my parents argue about business at the dinner table. After hearing enough, I decided to step in. "Look, you two cannot reach an agreement. Go home and pray to come to a mutual decision first. I'll be glad to consult with you once you're both in agreement." My friend, sensing I was about to leave, quickly responded, "Oh no, we have already agreed. We want to open a shop to start a business, and we invited you here to ask for your advice. I apologize for the argument." "Oh, I thought you were still deciding whether or not to proceed." "No, we decided to do it. It's just that I'm afraid of failing because I lack business experience." It turned out that my friend was wrestling with fear of failing due to inexperience and doubts about what might go wrong. In business, we hear a lot about resources, often referring to money or human resources. Yet the most essential resource for starting anything is a dare to think mindset. It's a concept rarely emphasized in business schools, where many graduates leave with no confidence to think like managers. As someone once said, "Dare to think is half of success." I was fortunate to be born into a business family. From an early age, my parents allowed me to go to the market and assist in nearly every aspect of our family business. One invaluable lesson I learned is that failure is only part of the test. Failures are inevitable, but when we see them as stepping stones to success, we unlock a future filled with opportunity. In 1996, my family lost everything. Creditors even seized our TV and my brother's bicycle. Our family of 6 moved from a spacious home to a cramped 20 meter square room. Though we lost all our material possessions, we still held on to one essential mindset: dare to think, dare to do, and do not be afraid to fail. Because of this attitude, our hardship was only temporary. Weeping may stay for the night, but rejoicing comes in the morning. Psalm 35. I have seen people with little capital and limited experience, but with a confident, daring mindset. This mindset sets them apart from those who live in fear. In reality, the enemy of success isn't failure, it's the fear of failure. Our success depends on 3 dares. 1, dare to have ideas. 2, dare to act. 3, dare to check. These 3 dares are directly related to the 3 abilities you need to succeed in business or any other endeavor. These abilities are: 1, ability to have ideas. This is crucial. People often feel stuck because they lack ideas. If you want to start a business, create a successful model, or pursue a career, you must first have an idea. Many people get stuck in this phase because past failures and fears hold them back. They think, "I can't do it, it's too big," or "it's too far-fetched." For some, even selling something online can seem intimidating. If you can't even think about it, how can you expect to change your life? Imagine you were born into a family like that of billionaire Bill Gates. You just have to imagine it. It costs nothing. Have you imagined it? In that family, would generating $4,000 a month for your family seem like a lot or a little? If you once thought $4,000 a month was a lot, would it still seem so from the perspective of Bill Gates' children? What about you? If you consider yourself a child of God, you have the potential to think even bigger. Jesus taught us to be born again, a change in mindset that frees us from the limitations of past experiences and family constraints. In this book's first section, I'll walk you through the steps to rebuild your capacity to ideate. But once you have an idea, you need the ability that is most visible and evident to everyone around you, the ability to act. 2. Ability to act. Many people have great ideas but execute them poorly. When they are excited, they do it at all costs, but when they are discouraged or lack of energy, they give up mercilessly. I have a friend who is like that. When he is excited, he works day and night. However, despite observing his hard work for almost 20 years, I've noticed that he still has an unstable income. This is simply because he could not control his feeling of boredom. He quit projects without knowing how much money he had spent on them. I frequently discuss with my Empower students the topic of why people fail, and the answers often involve an uncontrollable feeling of boredom. The idea of a touchscreen did not start with Steve Jobs, but he was the person with the power to make it a reality. The original idea for a social network like Facebook did not come from Mark Zuckerberg. He was the one who executed to bring that idea to life. They became billionaires as a reward for their persistence in putting their ideas into action. Success and fame are their rewards for the ability to execute through hard work. I have heard many leaders say things like, "I have an idea, but no one wants to do it." Just by hearing this, I know that this leader will struggle to succeed. That is because they expect others to put their ideas into action. It means they do not understand the power of idea actualization and the psychology of idea ownership. If the idea is theirs, but they do not own it with the commitment to make it happen, and instead want someone else to do it, then either they have to be such an honorable leader that others desire to turn their ideas into reality, or they will never have any ideas come true. When questioned, "Did you steal the Facebook idea from the Winklevoss brothers?" the founder of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, replied, "I just remember working very hard. I wrote millions of coding lines." Well, even if it is the Winklevoss brothers' idea, whoever realizes it will be rewarded for their efforts. The ability to execute does not come naturally. It comes from the spirit of initiative and life experience. The majority of the things we enjoy doing are things we have previously experienced, understood, and had some success with. You enjoy drawing because probably someone has complimented your drawing ability, so you continue to draw. Success with simple paintings led you to more complex paintings, which led to priceless masterpieces. You are afraid of business because you have previously failed. That makes you afraid of repeating previous failures. Success breeds success, and failure breeds fear. We often advise couples to let their children experience making money in business, calculate expenses and cash flow simply by writing down the income, expense balance, calculate risks, serve customers, take complaints from others, write down a procedure, sell and pay taxes, and even do small things like going to the market, saving money, and earning money in exchange for doing chores. Teach them to ask their parents if they are satisfied with the work they have done and what they can do differently the next time to get paid more. We can completely allow our children to participate in activities from small things like checking the water bill, counting the liters, figuring out how much it costs per day, and calculating taxes, to bigger things like reading contracts with parents and contributing comments. I am grateful to my parents because I have been involved in most of the family business activities to some extent since the age of 14, and the experiences of those days have made me a lot more confident in my current job. If you did not have the opportunity to experience these things as a child, you can begin with the following sections of this book. As long as you do not get discouraged and put this book down, you will succeed. The road to success is not long, but if you do not start, you will never get there. In the second part of this book, we will cover the tools of ability to execute and how to use them to help build a business model, with the expectation that you will grow and develop your business model with competitiveness and sustainability. However, having the ability to ideate and the ability to execute is not enough. You must also have a key ability for success, which is the ability to check. 3. Ability to check. This ability will determine your success or failure. Building a building is not as difficult as properly controlling the construction process. Then, when the building is completed, it will not collapse during a storm, and if a fire breaks out, it must have a quick response plan, and so on. Those are the real challenges. In fact, doing business is not difficult. It is controlling your business to ensure its sustainability that is difficult. What you do is not as important as how long you do it. The Vietnamese and the Swiss are very different in their monitoring mindsets. I was astounded when I first worked with the Swiss consulting group by their ability to monitor and control. For them, it is better to take a long time but be certain of success than to act quickly but with too many risks. At first, I did not think this way was suitable for me or Vietnamese people, but then I reconsidered. I realized this is exactly why we are poorer than the Swiss. They do one thing but are passionate about it in every detail of the job, managing all risks to ensure success. It is not enough to be strong, you also have to be steadfast. Many people fail because they do not dare to monitor. They are afraid of numbers, so they do not dare to read the report. They are afraid of details, so they dare not write the procedure. They are afraid of thinking about risks because it will cause them to lose energy, so they believe it is best not to think. They face the crisis with an African ostrich-like behavior. The parable of an African ostrich says, when an ostrich sees a lion, it runs as fast as possible to a sandy area to hide its head. It avoids threats by sticking its head in the ground. There it sees no threat anymore. It thinks it is very safe, while the lion goes to invite the entire herd to come and enjoy the rare ostrich for dinner. In the third section of this book, we will together cover the ability to monitor and the risk management tools that are important for your business model. So, is that enough? Not yet. There is one more part, the most important part. Most important part for success, the final section of this book, is also the most important. I will explain why only a few people can build great business models while the majority cannot. With just a little change, you can open a door for yourself to step out of the mass and reach the class of the few. If you finish reading this book, then the practice section answering 10 business model design questions will be the most valuable part for you. That section contains a 10-step roadmap for developing a business model from an idea. While reading and practicing, whenever you have an action step, feel free to open the last part to refer to your practice steps.